Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Vandalia By The Way. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we'll give you an update on some of the road projects we've been following throughout the spring and early summer months. We're also going to get you up to speed on what you can expect at this year's July 3rd StarSpangled Celebration fireworks show. But our first stop today is here at TEVA Products. Now, TEVA is a company with a long history in the Vandalia area. They used to be a part of Inland, they were a part of Delphi. But now that they're out on their own, this is a company that's setting down permanent roots right here in Vandalia.
The roots for TEVA are deeply set here in Vandalia. The company saw its beginnings in the region when the Wright brothers opened a factory to support their aviation interests. In World War II, Vandalia's Inland factory was a major contributor of the war effort, and in 1956, the group began focusing on instrument panels for vehicles. As a part of GM and then Delphi, the group in Vandalia played a key role in the very specialized science of a car's instruments and interiors. In 2008, the group spun off and became TEVA, a new company with a 90-year history. And when the company's Vandalia location needed a new place to call its own, offers came from several states to host the plant and the jobs that come with it. Ultimately, TEVA chose to stay in Vandalia and recently held a large open house to celebrate their new location. TEVA CEO Lon Offenbacher says the decision process was a group effort.
City of Vandalia, and then the county and the Dayton Regional Group, as well as the state, came together, and Pat was doing most of the work, but the reports I was getting back was you guys flowed almost seamlessly, and it really was the key to success for both of us, because we got a good package for us, and we were able to secure this new facility, and we got a lot of support on making that happen. We had a really quick timeline, and really coming together with you guys worked well.
Vandalia City Manager Rob Anderson was one of the dignitaries who spoke at the open house. He said TEVA's decision to stay in Vandalia was a very big deal.
The decision to stay here is a vote of confidence by which we're humbled. We want to assure you that just as you have pledged to continue to make quality and integrity the benchmarks of your organization, we've done the same thing. We'll continue to provide the quality services you need to be successful. We will continue to listen, continue to ask questions about what your needs are. We'll work with you to make sure those needs are being met. We'll do everything we can do to make sure that 10 years from now, possibly 20 years from now, you'll look back at this decision as one of the best in the company's history.
The open house included a tour of the facility where guests got the chance to see up close how the instrument panel is created and manufactured. Engineers at the facility showed off some very technical equipment like this piece, which can translate computer-assisted drafting coordinates to create actual example models of specific parts. And there's this one, which measures equipment parts down to the 1/10 of a millimeter. The group, that included representatives from the city, the county, and the state, helped TEVA with a large ribbon cutting. To commemorate the fact that the facility is in Ohio, they planted a buckeye tree on site and asked some of the dignitaries to help out with the shovels. And City Manager Rob Anderson presented TEVA executive Pat Stewart with a piece of artwork for their walls. It's a photo of the landscape of the 11th hole at Castle Hills Golf Course. It was the hope of all in attendance that TEVA is a part of the Vandalia business landscape for many years to come. City officials, meanwhile, are hopeful that a new road being constructed in West Vandalia will also be a part of the landscape for many years ahead. The Delsing Drive project was a multi-phase undertaking that began in early spring with the replacement of a large water main.
All the new main is in place. We've reconnected all the businesses and homeowners to the new water line. Then they started digging out the street to put new street base in. Once that was done, we've come through and poured all new curb now, as you can see. The crews right now are working on putting back people's driveways, their driveway approaches, so we can get people back into their houses and the businesses back in. And once all the concrete work is done, they'll start fine grading the street, getting ready for asphalt.
Public Works Manager Rob Cron says the project should be done by the first half of June, which is the same timetable for completion of another major road project wrapping up, that being the Dixie Drive Culvert Replacement Project.
The culvert has all been installed. They're pretty much working on the restoration now. They're actually, by the first week of June, we should have all the concrete work back in, the curbs, the sidewalks, the concrete around the parking lots, and they'll clean up the yards then and be ready for paving there probably by mid-June.
With these two work projects wrapping up, the question becomes, what's next? Cron says plans are in the works for the summer street resurfacing program, where a dozen city streets will get a fresh coat of asphalt.
For this year's street resurfacing program, the concrete work should begin probably around the first week of June. He'll be in here for probably a month, I would say, and then soon after that we'll see the paving company move in and they'll start on the streets we're going to do.
The number of streets receiving attention change from year to year, depending on which roadways need the most attention.
Every year we go through and reevaluate our streets, determine which streets are in the worst condition, which ones we can do each year for the money, and it changes a little bit each year. We kind of have a tentative 5-year plan, but as the winters take their toll on our streets, we kind of reevaluate each year.
And from the search to Vandalia's most needy roadways to the search for our city's most deserving veterans. The Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission is trying to get the word out that veterans across our city might be leaving some well-deserved benefits on the table. Commission President Mark Landers was in Vandalia recently talking about the services his commission offers veterans.
Educational benefits, non-service connected disability pensions, service connected disability pensions, outstanding records requests such as DD Form 214s, etc. We have professional people that can provide the services and submit the required documentation to the Veterans Department.
A big benefit on the table right now is a bonus available to veterans of the Persian Gulf War, Afghanistan, and Iraq. The one-time bonus can be as high as $1,500 if you meet the right requirements. And Landers says some veterans could benefit from a visit to his organization to see if their status has changed.
I had a gentleman here recently who was 84 years old, and he had served in New Guinea in World War II, and he had been injured severely, and at one time he was 100% disabled, and the VA had reduced that to 50%. And I asked him, I said, well, when did they reduce that to 50%? And he told me 62 years ago. I encouraged him to call our number, and we made an appointment for him, and I believe we'll be able to get that disability back up to the 100% that he deserves.
So who should check in with the Veterans Service Commission? Anyone who's ever served.
Quite frankly, if you take a few minutes, make that phone call, come to our office, we will have professional people that will look at your case specifically, treat you with the respect you deserve for serving your country, and I believe we can help. Last year, our office brought into Montgomery County approximately $60 million in VA benefits in terms of service-connected disability, in terms of educational benefits, in terms of pension benefits, etc.
If you want more information on the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission, give them a call at 225-4801 or check them out on the web at www.mcvsc.org. Landers says it's the best way to make sure that veterans get the benefits they deserve and we get the chance to adequately honor their service. And from honoring vets to honoring America, our last stop today is at the Vandalia Recreation Center, where plans are underway for the annual celebration of America, the StarSpangled Celebration. This year's event will be on Sunday, July the 3rd, from 7 until 10, with a spectacular fireworks show starting at 10 p.m. sharp. Recreation Superintendent Kathy Spaghi says the rockets' red glare won't be the only spectacle at this year's event, as there's musical entertainment as well.
This year we're going to have a band called My Three Sons come out and play for us. They're new to us. We've not ever had them here before, so we decided to make a little bit of a change after last year's Air Force Band of Flight. We just went out looking and found this band, and actually it's associated with Hauer Music. One of the guys that's in it is actually Bill Hauer with Hauer Music, so we're looking forward to having them here at the StarSpangled Celebration.
While My Three Sons take a break, the Parks and Recreation Department will be using the stage to take care of some unfinished business, that being the finals of the city's Vandalia Idol singing contest.
The finals of Vandalia Idol will be at the StarSpangled Celebration actually during intermission that the band's going to take. So right now we just started the preliminary rounds of tryouts. We'll do a semifinal round on June 11th. And then we'll take the finalists, 3 finalists from each age group. We'll perform, like I said, during intermission of the StarSpangled Celebration, and we will crown a new Vandalia Idol in each age group.
The celebration receives a ton of sponsorship help to take place. Sponsors include the City of Vandalia and Butler Township. Presenting sponsors are Liberty Savings Bank and the Ohio National Guard. Now, there are also participating sponsors, the 3 Vandalia auto dealers, Bo Townsend Ford Nissan, Joseph Airport Toyota Scion, and Smedley Chevrolet. Their support allows the city to put on a truly family-friendly event.
Absolutely. Something to do for everybody. We'll have a number of vendors here again, food vendors. We'll have a couple of vendors selling like the glow necklaces and different things like that. So people have the opportunity to do that. Again, entertainment, the Vandalia Idol. Of course, the fireworks are, the end of the big celebration. Again, something for everyone to do. Hopefully it'll be a nice night and a good time for the community.
Again, the activities begin at 7 p.m., but Spoggy says if she could offer a word of advice to the wise, it would be to show up early.
We suggest that folks get here early. Usually between 8:30 and 9, the lot is completely full. And once that happens, we close it down, actually have a police officer out and gate it down and don't let anybody else in. So we recommend if you want to get here early and also come all the way back to the back of the park because there's always spots available at the back of the park.
Each year, the organizers of the StarSpangled Celebration take a look at the different aspects of the event, and they try to keep the events that people like. One of those very popular events last year was the Chalk the Walk. Now, what happens in the Chalk the Walk is artists of all ages grab themselves a piece of the asphalt out here, and they make their creations. If you'd like to be a part of the Chalk the Walk, check out our website, www.vandaliaohio.org. That's going to do it for this edition of Vandalia By The Way. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.